Hi, Matthew here and welcome to another video. Today's video is just a quick update on a video that I put out a few weeks ago regarding the current rules on the eviction of tenants during lockdown. I'll link to the original video up here. That goes into a little more detail and gives a few examples under which circumstances landlords can and can't evict tenants during national lockdowns. Now, this is a good example as to why you should subscribe and hit that bell notification so you never miss a video in the future. So why the update to the video? Well, over the weekend the government has extended the eviction ban until the end of March. Now that is fundamentally the only real change, but hopefully I can try and shed a little more clarity on the matter in general. Quite simply, under no circumstances right now can a tenant be evicted for rent arrears until the end of March at the earliest. And by that I mean bailiff enforced evictions. The only circumstances under which a court would serve a bailiff enforced eviction notice right now are for things such as antisocial behaviour or domestic violence, or if a tenant is in severe rent arrears of more than 6 months. So in order to obtain an eviction order right now, the landlord would have to serve a Section 8 notice and prove to the court that their tenant is in breach of the tenancy agreement for something quite severe such as antisocial behaviour, or that they are in rent arrears of more than 6 months. And that is only possible right now with a Section 8 notice. Now, with regard to Section 21 no-fault eviction notices, they currently require a landlord to provide 6 months notice to the tenants, which fundamentally renders them pretty useless at the moment. So to summarise one more time for clarity, as a tenant you cannot and will not be evicted from your property for rent arrears any time before the end of March, unless you are in arrears by more than 6 months. So if, for example, as a tenant you have 10 weeks worth of rent arrears, your landlord could and can still serve you with a Section 8 notice, which ordinarily would be 2 weeks notice, in which time you would be expected to vacate the property or face the potential consequences of the bailiffs enforcing the eviction notice. But right now the court will not order bailiff enforcement until the end of March at the earliest. Now, if this is you as a tenant with some rent arrears, you may actually benefit from watching a video I put out a couple of weeks ago regarding a debt respite scheme. Again, I'll link to it up here. The extension to the eviction ban has effectively bought you some time to potentially get a grip of your debt and resolve your rent arrears with your landlord over the long term. So yes, give the video a watch and see whether you qualify for some debt breathing space. Now, as a landlord, yes, you can still serve a Section 8 notice and use it as a tool to evict a tenant from your property. However, the grounds for evictions are being prioritised for things, as we've mentioned before, such as antisocial behaviour and domestic violence, or for severe rent arrears of 6 months or more. You will not be granted an eviction order for the tenant that's in 10 weeks rent arrears any time before the end of March, or even if you need the property back as your main residence. These are simply not priority right now. Hopefully that's cleared things up a little more and possibly given an example that's relevant to you. As ever, if you could like and subscribe, that would be appreciated, and I'll be back again soon. Thank you.